All right, everyone, when you first open Gaia GPS, this is what you're going to see. Go ahead and say start exploring or skip. That'll take you to this little disclaimer where you're going to go ahead and say, all right, this is great, I agree. Once you agree to it and you select that, it'll then take you to a notice saying, can the Gaia GPS app access your location? You can either say always allow or only while using the app. It's totally up to you, but at some point, the Gaia GPS app will have to access your location. Once it does, it'll take you to this screen where you can then actually start looking through the app itself. So the first thing to notice is that it should automatically log on to your GPS location. If it doesn't, though, for whatever reason, or if it's having trouble, you click that little green spot right up there at the top until it goes red. That'll tell the GPS app that it needs to hone in on your location. And once it has your location, then you can actually start to look at it. And the first thing to look at is the settings. So if you go to the settings on the bottom right portion, we need to change a couple things. So when you go into units, your units should automatically be in imperial. We want to reset that to metric. The next thing we want to do is take that coordinate type, and it's normally in degrees, minutes, seconds. We want to switch that to decimal degrees. That just makes it easier for us to work with, and it makes it easier for you to send that over to us as well. So once you've changed the units and you're ready to go, now you can click back into that map on the bottom left, and now I can show you how to actually start looking through and taking a GPS coordinate. The first thing you can do, if you don't, for whatever reason, want to record your GPS coordinate and you just want to write it down, let's say you've already been to this site multiple times or whatever, you don't have to worry about actually recording it. If you just click on the trip button at the bottom left here, this is your GPS coordinate. You'll notice the GPS coordinate comes with a range, and that's that little number in the parentheses. In this case, it's plus or minus 10 meters. That's really good accuracy for a GPS location. In fact, anything over that, though, is pretty invalid, and we don't want to use it. So you want to make sure that your GPS location is at least within the plus or minus 10 meters. I think the closest it can get is plus or minus 5. And what you'll notice is what I just did there. If you do that, it'll quickly reload. Or if you click on the top right, that little circle with the lines next to it, it'll tell you when it took the latest fix. And you just want to wait till you get a GPS accuracy of at least plus or minus 10 meters. Now, if you're in a really enclosed area, that's probably the best you'll get. If you're in a more wide open area, you'll probably get a little bit better fix, and you might get that actual 5 meters. But anyway, this is your GPS coordinate. That's what you would record on your actual data sheet. There's also elevation that you can record if you want to, but it's not a necessity. And so after you've recorded your GPS location and you're happy with it, you could go back to the map, or you can record GPS location in another way. So that button right next to the crosshairs is where you can find Add My Waypoint. And what you'll notice is I just selected Add My Waypoint at my location. So I want to add a new GPS point at exactly where I'm at. You can only do that if your location is turned on. Then it gives you a bunch of options. Right here I'm editing the title, I'm saying location, and then I'm clicking save. What you'll notice is it'll then take you out, and you have to actually click on the saved folder right here and access that location. And so here's the location, and then boom, once again, your GPS coordinates are right there. If you do select the actual location, it's really great. It'll actually save it to your folder. You can choose to make different folders if you want. If you've done this for a while and you have a 2021 folder or whatever, you can do that. You can also edit your location if you see that it's a little bit incorrect. You can add notes to it if you want to. It'll tell you how far away you are. And then when you go back out into the field, you can actually use the More button to say Guide Me. And if you select that Guide Me portion, it'll actually tell you how far away you are to that GPS coordinate. So saving your waypoint's good if you've never done this before. And so then that's basically how to work around and take GPS fixes. So you can always go out, you can always take those fixes, or you can just go out and record your trip like that. Either way works. Another really nice feature on this first little portion of this app is you see that little record button right there. Let's say that you're going out for the first time and you're not entirely sure where you're going to go. You can track your hike to each individual location by pressing that record button. And then when you go out in subsequent checks and takedowns, you can see exactly where you went that last time. So you don't have to basically remake the wheel to get to your camera. You can also select the little camera portion right there at the very top right, which is going to allow you to take photos at that site or wherever you're currently at. So if you need photos to help you get from one place to another, you can select that option, and that'll allow you to have photos along with your GPS coordinate. But yeah, that's the app. It's really easy to use.